In this video, I want to demonstrate two workflow automations. One is an internal form approval trigger that triggers approval based on user response, and another is a auto-generating docs from template which generates docs from Google Docs from template. So let's dive into the video. So the internal approval trigger, this entire workflow system works on basically two workflows. One workflow is when a user submits a form. So let's say a user want to join a club or want to join a Facebook group, etc. So the user will submit a form that will have the necessary fields set by the approvers. So when the user submits the form, it will be submitted for approval. So if I just give the demo and execute the workflow, so now the user will be given a form like this with the name, email, contact, etc. So if I just fill out, let's just give a name, let's say on the top of my head, let's say just give a random name, and then email, and then the contact, let's say something like this, and I want to join because ... Okay, so when the user submits the form, it will be submitted, and it will be there for approval. So if I just enter the form, the response has been recorded. So now, as you can see, it will be appended to the rows on the sheets. So when the user submits the form, it will edit the form fields, and then it will be sent to the Discord channel for notification. So if I go to the server, as you can see, these are the details. This is sent to Discord notification. It can be email notification as well, or any kind of mail notification. So it has the details and the approve and reject links. So the approval and rejection links are there for the user or for the approver to approve or reject this user's request. And as you can also see, this is the contact form for approver to submit. So first it is rejected by default, but when the approver approves, it will be changed from rejected to approved. Let's say I want to approve the user's request that was sent. So I want to approve the request, and I have the approval authority. So the Discord message is there. So I can either approve or reject. So this is the approval link and the rejection link. Let's say I want to approve it. So this is the workflow that shows it. So if I execute the workflow, it will wait for this for me to click on either approve or reject. So if I approve the reject, the workflow has started, and as you can see, it will update the status. So if I go here, as you can see, this is approved. This request has been approved by the approver, which is me in this case. So it has approved. So let's say I want to, now I have approved, so I can also reject it. So I can change it. Let's say I want to reject. So I want to reject the approval. So if I if I click on execute workflow again, this workflow has ended the previous one. So now it will listen again. So I want to reject it instead of approve. So I can do that as well. So if I go here, as you can see, it has been rejected back to rejection because I rejected it. So this is how this approval and rejection workflow is executed. I'll give a brief overview of the internal workings of the two workflow. So if I go to the internal form request approval, the user form request part. So as you can see, when this trigger is done when a form is submitted. So if I go click on this node, as you can see, this is the form request with the fields name, email, contact, and why do you want to join a specific thing, okay, specific club or group, etc. why do you want to join us. So this form, when the form is submitted, this will trigger an event, and it will edit the fields here. This node will edit the fields, so it will just trim the white spaces, etc. And the Discord node will actually send the notification to Discord. So it can be also be Gmail, but I chose Discord. So the Gmail has this message, as you can see. The the API connection is connected for webhook. So the credential for webhook is given, and this is the message body, or the body. So Discord message is sent. Then it will append the row in sheet. So in the Google Sheet, it will append the row with these columns. Column data are mapped appropriately. This is the first part where the user request is submitted. When the approval status is here, as you can see, this webhook trigger will actually trigger the workflow when this link is clicked. So it has the webhook URL. So a webhook URL, there is a parameter attached to it. So as you can see, there is ID and action. Either ID given, ID of the form request, and the action is either approve or reject. Goes through a condition if true or false. So if this node is actually equal to either true or false, or the approve or reject, so it matches the query parameter. So then it goes to either approve or reject and updates accordingly. So it goes to, like, it gets the row from the sheet, then updates. Update is basically that update that row in the sheet, and also sends a mail with an approved confirmation and a reject confirmation. So this is the brief overview of the two workflow files, and how this internal approval system is done. The second automation also has two workflows about auto-generating docs from template. So if I give a brief demo, so as you can see, the auto-generate docs from template and create template document. So in the create template document, this Google Sheets trigger, or when a new row is added to a Google Sheet, then this trigger will happen. So how will the Google Sheet have a row inserted? If I submit a Google form, so I have created a Google form. As you can see, there is a Google form here with a client name, project title, date of agreement, and project details. So if I take a response, right now there is no response. So if I take a response, if I copy the responder link and open in a new tab, so this is the question with the client name, the project title, the date of agreement, and project details. So if I give, let's say, give a client name, if I just give random names, so random information, let's say something like this. Date of agreement is today, project details is let's say this is a complete manifesto. So when this form is submitted, it will be populated in the Google Sheets, because the Google Sheet is linked. And when the Google Sheet is or a new row on a Google Sheet is added, this will trigger this node in n8n, and it will create and update a new document that has the template in it. So it will create a template document first. So this is the first part of the automation, which is creating a template document. So if I just submit the response, so it will have the response, as you can see, and in the Google Sheet it will be populated. So right now, if I execute the workflow, it will create a new document. Okay, so if I execute the workflow, as you can see, it will create a new document and update the document. So if I go to Drive, and as you can see, there is this if I open this one, so this template is ready. So this template contains the client name, the project title, the date of agreement, and the project details. So this is the first part of the workflow. In the second part of the automation, docs will be generated based on the template that we have just created. So if I go to the auto generate docs from template, this workflow, as you can see in that Google Sheet trigger, so if I run the workflow, it will take from the Google sheet, and this row from Google sheet, and copy a file in the drive inside this folder. So I already have this folder. So in this folder there will be a copy of the template with the data. So if I execute this workflow, it will on based on the row, it will get the row and then get the document, copy the file, and then send an HTTP request, which will have. So if I go to the folder, as you can see, there is one folder, one file now. So it has the templates values, which are the name, title, details. So as you can see in the template, there was client name, project title, date of agreement, and project details, and has the form values, which is the name, title, date, and details. So there is a copy, there is a file copy based on this template that we generated previously. So this is how this copy is generated based on this workflow, entire workflow. I'll give a brief overview of the internal workings of this automation. So if I just go back to the create template document, so this does is in the Google Sheets trigger node, it basically triggers on row added. So when the new row is added from here, it will trigger this node and create a document. So in the create document node, it will create a Google document in the base folder in my drive, and it will then update the document with the text, which is this one, which is the text, this which has the template. Okay, so this has the template, so it will create a template. So this is how the template is created. So this is the first part, and in the auto generate docs from template workflow, this will also trigger on the row added. It will modify based on this JavaScript function, which just get the last item, and then it will get the last row and get the document. It will get the document, which is the template document, and then it will copy the file based on the template document. So based on the template document, it will copy a file into this folder, the folder that this particular folder that we created, and then it will send an HTTP request with a batch update for sending HTTP request with this JSON data, which will replace the text from here. This text will be replaced by the dynamically generated text or the content from the Google form submission. So this is how this entire automation system is built. Hopefully you enjoyed the 2 workflow automation demos. So in the next video I'll come up with some more interesting automations, so stay tuned for that.